we hear it all the time. Let's surround ourselves with the people that we want to become. And that's the truth. That's the way it is in life. Right now, I'm very blessed. Obviously, we're in the summertime. Real estate is my main focus. Luckily, my office isn't as messy as I thought it'd be. But anyways, files everywhere. This last week, I've been around some major players because they're in my business line. So the beauty is, at EXP, it's like every company. Like Keller Williams, they have a lot of different franchises. And in one franchise, one team may have bigger strength than another team. Remax, one Remax office could be better than another Remax office, or one Remax team in the office could be superior to another one. And we're not trying to be this comparison, we're better versus this or that. What we're trying to do is acknowledge, not everything is the same in life. There are some people who have an advantage, and my business line is giving me an advantage. So I'm grateful for that. I'm not bragging about that. I'm not doing anything but saying, thank you, leaders. You're doing a great job leading us and giving us information that is only going to help us be successful if we do something with it. So I just have a couple of notes here. I've talked to, in the last week, these are people outside the Columbia market that have taken time and interest. And actually, each one of these calls, it wasn't just for me, it was everyone in Columbia. So it was the people who I brought into eXp Realty, the people who brought me into eXp Realty. We all benefited from this information. The first one was conversation we had with a guy named Clarence Graham. Clarence Graham is in our leadership, and what he's done is he's out in Alabama, and he's an icon agent. An icon agent is someone who has been so successful, eXp gave them their commission back in company stock. So he's not going to get the exact, like a check written to him, but he's going to get the shares given to him of what he paid in. He capped at $16,000, so he'll get $16,000 worth of company stock this year. And I think there's even a bonus for our stock on top of that. Then on top of that, of course, he has a really good sized network, so he is getting a revenue share as well. So he's most likely made over 100% of his commissions this year. Okay, so I just wanted to share, anyone who's successful, you end up seeing patterns. You end up finding a reason why they're more successful. So here's some of the highlights of our conversation with Clarence Graham. Okay, and excuse me, I'm reading notes. So I'm not ignoring you, not trying to avoid eye contact. It's just, I didn't memorize this. This is me trying to help. Clarence's big things. Let's go over his top points. Okay, first, he was big on, it's not a database, it's a relationship manager. His main thing is he genuinely wants to love people where they're at. And this guy, he's not a BSer, at least you can tell he's genuine with the things he's saying. Okay, so he wants to love people where they're at. He's like, stop drip emails and then use more video. Let people see your community involvement. Because that really makes a difference in the area. And he's not just talking about service work. If he's at a closing, document it. If he's out, at a great restaurant and meeting with the business owner and says, hey, can you share with me a little bit about your journey, your company? Is there anything that you can incentivize the people watching this video with? Things like that, just kind of introducing people to the town, new things that they may enjoy. Basically, he's talking like, okay, his team is more like a reality team star than a street billboard. So, people are watching him on YouTube and their videos, just his daily life, and people really like that. It almost is like they're seeing you on TV, because social media is becoming so powerful, so much of our time, that, it's very similar in a way. Okay, so anyways, again, the big thing he was going on was loving people where they're at. So he was like, listen, of course I'm going to call people on their birthday, but if they love their dog and, that's just so important to them, I want it to be important to me. So I may go to their house and give their dog a bone on their birthday. It's like, what? You love your dog, I want to love what you love. So, he really goes above and beyond. He wants to make it a VIP treatment. He wants to like compete with not Marriott, but the highest level hotel chains. He wants it to be an experience that people know. When people send him people, he wants to be able to treat his past clients to really nice dinners, because anyone who's going to take the time to put their name on the, say, hey, this guy helped me, he wants to give something back to them too. So basically, again, it's all about relationships. Build those relationships. The big thing here, your social proof trumps any drip campaign. So that's the thing is, let people see the way you live. Let people share with you their experiences with you online, and then new people will say, man, these other people had such an amazing experience working with the Graham group. I gotta give them a call. Okay, so now we're on to the next person, Adam Bailey. Now, I don't know if you know Adam. I obviously know Adam. He's a player, boy. He knows what he's doing. He had a team ranked number 11 in the Wall Street Journal. Okay, he plans to lead his business network at eXp Realty, meaning the people he's recruited in, or people he introduced who came in under him. He wants to be 500 by August. Currently, it's around 400. And we don't want to share what he's getting, but if you were to see the back end system actually showing the numbers, it's a number that definitely would make an impact in most people's lives. Okay, so what this call was it was about 2 hours. He really gave us a lot of time. And it was him dialing. He pulled up his Mojo dialer. It was a 3x speed. So it was like dialing 3 numbers at the same time. And just trying to share with us, what does he say on the phone? Why does he say it? Seeing the results, seeing the way he would adjust to, what they had to say to him. And on the call, it was one of those, you knew it was live because I tell you, about 90% of the people weren't home. And so it ended up, he shared a lot more notes than he did scripts, just because we weren't getting people on the phone. So no issue with him. It was just kind of interesting. It shows it's live and you have to adjust on the time frame. Let's see. So again, he shared his psychology. So here's some of the things that he went over and over again. And again, these bullet points are not going to be groundbreaking. Just instead of hearing the calls, I'm just giving you a couple of notes. One of his big things is it's not a website, it's a resource center. I'm calling from the care management department. He's all about service. You're not calling as sales, you're calling, how do I help you? USPs, like some of them, like the Love It or Leave It program. Or he'd say, like, just one of the 10 benefits of the Home Buyer Advantage program is, and he'd roll into it. Since you registered at the Resource Center, I can share X with you. So that would be like, if it was the Love It or Leave It campaign, and someone said, well, is there a way you can share with me your Love It or Leave It program? Well, since you registered at a Resource Center, I'm happy to share that with you. So those are some of the quick notes on there. Again, I didn't do him justice on his portion. Sorry, Adam. But he's always providing time for us. So his name's going to be mentioned a lot in some of these videos. Lastly, this one is one of my favorites. Again, all these calls were great. There's one of our upline managers. I don't know if I'd call him a manager, but anyways, he has one of the most productive lines at eXp. Adam's underneath him, Clarence is underneath them, I'm underneath them. He's just really developing a large network. And what he did was saying, I've really benefited from the revenue share I'm receiving, so let me give back. So there is a coach that really helped his business grow. This coach actually even helped Adam's business grow. So what they said was, let us pay for that coach to coach everybody in our line. So if you were to come in at eXp and come in and let me sponsor you, you get these coaching calls. These guys, they're going to be involved with you. If you need help, they're not going to ignore you guys. So anyways, 3 different calls every other Monday. And they did that so that they could really address different needs. The first one is like the team builder, the people who are trying to expand their EXP group. They're more the team leaders of teams. The second one is agents who are producing at 24 or more transactions. So a lot of these are producers on a team, or they're running the team, and a lot of the people on that call are running the team. Then the third call is for the agents 24 transactions or less a year. So a lot of the things can be said, of course, they're said a little differently on each call, because the people are at different stages in their career of maybe they need it more gentle, more direct, or more explanation. The coach's role is not to create something that no one's ever heard of. It's how do I share it and get you to take action? Because you may have heard something a million times, and then the 1,000,001th time it's said in a way you're like, I got it. Okay. So here's some of the notes from this one. On the producer's call, this week was much more about time management and art of leverage. Specialists make the most money. So what should be your expectations? If you're hiring a listing agent, they should be closing 5 deals or more a month. Buyer's agent, 2 deals or more a month. A buyer's agent needs to have 24 transactions in a year, more than that actually, before they should get a showing assistant. So then, they started going over payment models, things like that. If you have a team, you should have a 15-minute morning huddle. So that way, everyone knows the task. It keeps everybody accountable, but it doesn't take up a lot of time. Let's see. I love this one. 4 or 5 listings should be where when you get their house under contract, you already know they're your buyer, because that creates a level of just, you're not in the up and down roller coaster. You're like, okay, we got your house under contract. Let's go find you your next house. So you're double ending, you're using your time much wiser, but it adds consistency to your business. Okay, so now the second call, well, actually this would be the third call. This would be the call for 24 transactions or less. So this is usually newer agents, or again, maybe a buyer agent on a team. And, we've been doing this for a while now. So these are notes that have added on to other calls. His big thing's always, if you're not selling 24 transactions per year, you either don't want it, don't know what to say, or not talking with enough people. And reality is it's probably a combination of those, but that first one, the don't want it, I think is probably pretty big on there, because some of the things he says to get your mindset opened up, where you pretty much have to acknowledge you could do twice what your goal is if you had a big enough why. Okay, review your goals daily. This one I like, and this one, he may have said it because we're at EXP Realty, but I agree with him. Real estate commissions fund your life. Revenue share funds dreams and the ability to travel. So, the reality is we got to sell more, because that's our livelihood. We got to provide for our families. But this real estate revenue is kind of like an added bonus, if you can think of it that way, of like, ooh, I get 2 extra cruises a year because of my revenue share, and my business is growing 25% a year, then both are going well. Of course, all coaches are trying to get you to double that business, but, then there's an LP Mama script he's big on. And of course, we went over a lot more. Those were some of the highlights. Trying to keep this under 15 minutes, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this. Reach out to me if you have any interest in saying, I'm not getting what this guy is talking about at my brokerage, and you're just curious. Reach out to me. I can introduce you to some of my leaders. We can get you on some of these Zoom calls so you can see what we're talking about. You want to see the technology we're providing? Let me show you, the back end systems. I can show you KV Core, how to lead generate on it, how our database works. We can show you the different classes EXP offers. Everything I shared with you today, guys, this was not even, if you join EXP, this stuff is not guaranteed to you, and you probably won't get it. If you join our network, you get it. on top of all the benefits EXP Realty is providing. EXP Realty is growing. Last year, I think it was 8,000. Now we're at 20,000. There's a reason for this rapid growth. And I'm happy to talk to you about it. If you're just at the beginning stages, let me know. If you say, Drew, I think I want to do this, really show me, help me get over the hump, we'll do so. By the way, our network also has a guy, he's a concierge. So if you're worried about getting all your business over, we have a guy who's gonna basically, he's being paid to help people make transitions. Our group is growing so fast that people are saying, okay, and it's not just like some tip. This is like a corporate consultant that, they said, hey, you're good at what you do. And he actually grew this guy's business while he was away. He was like, out of pocket for like a year. And this guy grew his line by like 20%, because he's good at what he does. And leverage, how do we make it easier? How do people benefit from being on our network? We already have the knowledge, the experience. I mean, our leaders are phenomenal and they're taking an interest in people. Now, coaches are being hired, concierges are being hired. Guys, the synergy's big. And all I want to do is, if you have any curiosity at all, I just want to introduce you to things. Reach out to me if I can help. Name's Andrew Kuhlmann. I really go by Drew. But, if you found me on YouTube, just email me. You could search for me if you want to text or call me, 803-807-1827. You have a great day.